All right, well, I think that's a great song to start talking about what I want to talk about because, so often I do already feel like that we are in a cold civil war. And yeah, they don't need to tread on me, but they're doing it steady, and they're doing it steady to our countrymen, and they're doing it every day. And within the last week, 7 more American citizens have been rounded up by the FBI and brought in on First Amendment rights, really. This is really what we're talking about, is our First Amendment. And, and they're rounding our people up daily. And right now, Texas second. We're running in second. I love it that Pennsylvania shows up real well in the tally of Jan 6ers. But the thing that you will see is that when you look around the map of the United States, Jan 6ers are from every single state in this union. Every single one. These are American people that stood up that day for a reason. They stood up because they do believe that our country's worth saving.
And it is.
And it is. And it absolutely is. This last week, Veterans Day, we had Coven come out and he told us his story of escaping communism. We have several American Chinese people that stand out here with us because they know what communism means. And they do it every night because it is important to take a stand somewhere. And if over 1,200 Americans being rounded up by a weaponized government is not worth standing up for, y'all, we are blind. You're blind to the fact that we are not already at war with our United States government. We really do need to understand that aspect. It is not a physical war. It is not a war with guns, but they are already attacking us. They are already infiltrated us, and daily they are rounding up our country people. They're rounding them up. And, we get distracted with wars in other countries and hostages being held by Hamas in Palestine, but we have American hostages being held right here in the United States. Some of them are sitting right back there. My husband is sitting over in Texas. And these are casualties of what I do think is a war. And it is, and when these guys and gals go in and they go in and they try to say that they are not guilty for what happened that day because they absolutely believe that they had a right to be there. And they go in and they go into this justice system that we believe, this illusion that we have in the United States of a justice system. They go in there, and I see it time and time again because I've sat through more Jan 6 cases than any other person, and I can tell you, I see so much hope in people's eyes when they go into that courtroom. They just know that their story and that what they're standing for is going to be the one that breaks open Jan 6 because they absolutely believed why they were there that day. They are not going to plead guilty for something they did not feel like they did or did not do that day. They're not going to do it because they felt like they had every right to be there. And they did. And now you have the governor of New York coming in and saying today that they have heightened surveillance of the internet out there. And people, I'm telling you, that is heightened surveillance of what they are, your First Amendment right. That is what she's saying to you. This is what they're doing across the nation. I've seen it in the trials. What they say to these guys and gals is, you know what, you posted on Facebook that you believe that this forefather, what he said about revolution, you liked it. You reposted it. Well, you know what? I do believe in that. That person believed in that. And our people are being persecuted and prosecuted for believing in those same things. And 7 more of them were just rounded up this last week. When we do our roll call later, you will hear how long the list is of the detained. Now, we're not even talking about those that have been arrested and those that have already gone on, and this is past them. We're at over 1,200 American citizens. They are looking at rounding up more. The amount of surveillance that is on our people is staggering to me. You were talking about when I sat in on this last case with Ryan Samsel Johnson, and there were 5 people on the indictment. How many man hours it took for the FBI to sit out in front of a Marathon gas station to surveil an American citizen while he did his job for 8 hours? And they did that for 14 days. What are the resources being taken there to surveil the American citizen while he's going to his job and doing his job. They had nothing else on him other than that is exactly what he did that day. That is it. I sat there, I heard the FBI agents say that. These are the resources that are being taken away from what, according to what I've heard in Senate hearings, is that we're the #1 human trafficker in the world. But we are going to take 14 days of FBI to sit in front of a Marathon gas station in Kentucky. That is what our government is doing against its people. And when we do this roll call, you're going to hear how many people are on there. And there are so many. At this time on the Patriot Mail Project, they have so many people and they do such a good job at keeping up with who's going in and out and what facility they're going to. Every time that you go to Patriot Mail Project, I encourage you to go to where they have their updates. Make sure that you look at the updates and you see if anybody's been moved. They have a Christmas drive going on right now. Over 100 kids are signed up on that Christmas drive. And I can tell you, when Peyton was still in school the first year of this, they absolutely helped Peyton have a Christmas. And I know this, this organization works for our Patriots. Please go and find a family to sponsor. Go to the Patriot Mail Project. If you can't do that, please send out Christmas cards. Go to Fort Ashley. We have all of those sites on there. I just encourage you to stay as engaged as you are. You're amazing people, amazing patriots out there, and you have caused such a difference. But we have to continue. We cannot get tired. We have to keep the line. We have to hold the line. I know it's heavy, but we got this, Patriots.
We also, if you look at the court docket, every single day it's overwhelmed and overrun with January 6th cases because they have to keep the federal boot on the neck of all these people that they have in jail. They won't let a change of venue happen, even though when they pick a jury, they talk about everybody in the city being a victim. And you know that these people that are sitting in judgment of our men and women behind these bars are considered victims of this, of January 6th. Everybody in the city is. The congressional people are. We had somebody come and stay with us and visit a congressional member, and they wanted to revoke her pretrial release status. So we also know that in still pursuing American citizens for their actions 3 years ago, that Matthew Graves fails to prosecute 67% of violent crimes in this city. Rapes, murders, carjackings, and these numbers go up. You know, I can't remember exactly the rise, categorically, but everything's gone up. All violent crime in this city has gone up, and it continues to be ignored. Murders in this city every single day, juvenile crime goes up, and still they continue, knowing that it's going to go through this court system to put their boot on the neck of the American people for what amounts to trespassing. These are called sentences of deterrence. Some of these men are guilty of nothing more than a misdemeanor than in any other state of the country or state of the world that would not even require jail time. There's not even a statute for jail time for some of these things. It's just a fine and a misdemeanor, but the judges are absolutely legislating from the bench and coming up with these astronomical sentences and astronomical charges for our American people, and we're sitting back and letting it happen. While people can protest for other countries in this country, tear down American flags, and put up a hostile country's flag. So I don't know what's going on here, but we need to wake up and pay attention.
All right. David, you want to do the roll call, baby?